Ah, yes. You can't have an episode of Shield Hero without the Spear Hero making a mess of things. At this point in time, I don't know who I hate more. Do I hate the princess more for what she's done to the Shield Hero and set him on this path of where he's at now? Or do I hate the Spear Hero for his sheer incompetence and just how he's constantly manipulated by the princess? I really don't know, because, I mean, at the end of the day, to be completely frank, I know the Spear Hero isn't relatively a quote-unquote bad guy. I mean, I don't think he's 100% a decent human being, even if he wasn't in this world, but I don't think he would be as insufferable as he is in this series, in this other world, if he didn't have hero-like powers, because he just is so full of himself. He takes the righteous path thinking that he's high and mighty, but in reality, he causes a lot of problems, and I just think, in reality, the reason why I'm really starting to dislike the Spear Hero over Myne is because we know what to expect from her. It's just her personality. She is someone that is conniving and just does not like the Shield Hero at all. But when it comes to the Spear Hero, he's just so manipulated into doing things and thinking he's better than everyone. I'm just like, I don't like that. It's just something about that character I do not like. So, it's annoying, and I really, really hope the Spear Hero gets what he's coming. I'm very happy that Philo was able to give the man what he deserved at the end of this episode when he got kicked. I'm very happy about that, and I'm glad that now Fumi's like, good girl, I'm glad you did that. That's exactly what I would have done. You know, like, I would have praised her for what she did to that man after all the things he's been doing throughout this episode and the mess he caused in the previous episodes. But okay, holding the phone there, let's talk about a couple things that I think a lot of people could miss and was definitely going underneath the radar. And that is the whole scene with the church. One of the big things about the church scene, besides obviously, you know, them being crusty and trying to give now Fumi a crude potion of, like, you know, holy water, you had it to where he mentioned that on top of the church, there was no shield a part of it, which is a very strange mention, because something like this wouldn't have been mentioned if it wasn't relatively important, because it just seems like too important of a detail to kind of just skip over, because when I think about it, you have four heroes. When we look at the legend of, like, the heroes and stuff, you have four heroes. You have, you know, the shield hero, spear hero, sword hero, and bow hero. Four heroes, and they're summoned to, you know, deal with these waves. And when you think about it, they were all summoned at once, and for some reason, the church does not have the shield a part of it. Now, here's the thing I want to point out. Yes, we know the shield hero is kind of like the lame duck. No one really respects the shield hero whatsoever. That's been established since the beginning of the story. So this basically means that this church, the reason why they probably don't have, you know, the shield a part of their religion is most likely because they don't believe in him whatsoever. That's what I am assuming. So this could explain why some of the populace does not like the shield hero right off the bat, is because, once again, if they are following this church, then they most likely don't care much about the shield hero because of the way the doctrine is spoken to everybody. They're like, oh yeah, the shield hero is really not that important. That's most likely what you can get from that church. So I think that's a relatively important detail that really needs to be focused on, because for now Fumi to mention it and for this church to put on the airs like it did, it felt too kind. Like, let's look at that scene with the Pope, okay? We've already seen this Pope once before in previous episodes, a part of the duel, and we know he was kind of like a guy that was there to initiate the duel with Naofumi versus the Spear Hero. And we know he didn't really say much, but it was very obvious he had equal amount of power to the, the actual king, royalty and all of that. So we know the church holds a lot of power in this country. And for him to walk up to Naofumi like he did in this episode, I mean, he's like, why would you give this man a crude potion and all that? That was a very interesting moment, because the man was basically saying, you need to show this man respect. You need to be honest with this man. But that completely negates some of the things that's already been established. Because, I mean, number one, he was there in the presence of the duel, which means that he was kind of fine with it in the first place, with that unfair duel between the Spear Hero and the Shield Hero. But on top of that, too, he wasn't seeming like he was going to say anything about the potion until Naofumi pointed out. But then he corrected the problems that was against Naofumi and offered him an actual pure holy water potion. So I'm curious about that. I'm very curious to see what side the Pope is really on and how he feels. Because, I mean, if I had to assume anything, he's probably going to be very important in the future of the story. It's definitely building up for something like that. But okay, backing up for now, though, it seems like Raphtalia, she got the potion she needed. She didn't take it in this episode, but now Fumi was able to get a potion, a holy water potion, to be able to cure the curse on her. We don't know if it's really going to work, but at the very least, she has gotten a potion, and this does mean that she will be able to be healed very soon in no time. But okay, let's talk about the main meat of this episode, which is Melty. Melty, hopefully I'm saying her name right, is a new character introduced in this episode that is definitely significant to the story. Because, number one, the whole point of this episode was to introduce her and let us see if she's a good character or a bad character. For instance, like a bad person, good person, and that's kind of what the episode was showing. When it came to the reveal in the later half of the episode, letting us know that she's actually the younger sister of Myne, the very woman that sent Fumi down this path since episode 1, it could easily change people's opinion of Melty. Like, oh crap, she's probably going to be a bad person. I mean, after we saw what the king did and what, Myne did, she's probably going to be in the exact same, way as, Myne. But when you really think about what the series has been doing since the very beginning, it's always been about actions speak louder than words. That's the big thing I've been expressing since the very beginning of the story, is that even though Fumi has this rotten personality, like he seems like he's a jerk, it's his actions that speak louder, in my personal opinion, and I feel like that's kind of what we can look at when it comes to Melty. Her actions in this episode and what she did to really, mingle with Fumi shows a lot. It speaks a lot about her as a person. She was respecting him, called him by his name, was actually willing to offer a reward, and she also did not ask anything too mean of him or, too, obviously she was wanting something, out of it, how Myne was and how she manipulated him. It didn't seem like Melty was really doing anything like that. Honestly, looking at her character introduction, how she was getting along with Philo and all that, she has this different personality about her that we haven't seen from Myne or the King, so this episode clearly shows that she's not relatively a bad person. However, I cannot blame Fumi for disliking her, because, when you think about how her entire family has treated him, he would easily apply, that hatred he has for them onto her, but he's blinded right now. I think he's really blinded by his hatred, and he's not able to really see the clear picture that Melty isn't really probably that bad of a person. She's just someone that has unfortunate circumstances to have a father and a sister as awful as they are. I think that's the main point here. So, Melty, I think she can be trusted, but I can understand why Fumi does not trust her because of just all the actions that's been done to him since the very beginning. He has all rights to act like he does. But okay, let's also talk about another little detail too. When Melty was introduced and we saw how she was kind of interacting with Fumi, there was this character in the tree which is very similar to the character that was shown in the first episode. And to kind of refresh everybody if you've forgotten, when Fumi was getting accused of what he did to Myne, there was this woman that was sitting up top, like where nobody noticed her, and watching the entire event. And ever since that episode, this character has never popped up. We've never seen her again. It's never even really been mentioned. But this character was kind of like an assassin hiding in the shadows. And seeing this person in the tree hiding and watching Melty and watching Fumi, there's two questions that pop up. Is this character attached to Melty, like her royal guard or something? Or has this character been following Fumi for a while, and this is the first time it's really become relevant, and we see that this character has been watching him? We really don't know, but it's very clear that this character is also about to be very important because of the setup it had in the first episode. Another thing too, there is quite a few moments of bonding. For instance, the whole Philo scene, and Philo, bonding with Melty and having them become friends. Very cute scene, but also the scene at night when it was implied that Philo could have potentially have eaten Melty. I'm like, oh my god. That scene was absolutely hilarious. I had a good laugh from that because instantly, as soon as they thought that Melty was devoured by Philo, they were going to cover up the evidence. I'm like, really? Really Fumi? Really, Raphtalia, you're going to just allow that? And so I just couldn't help but chuckle. I had a good laugh from that, and even though many might not find that scene really that funny, I thought it was funny, and I got a good laugh from it. Anything else really important to talk about from this episode, though? Let's see here. We got the whole Raphtalia Holy Potion, the church, the person in the tree. I think I pretty much have covered everything. Besides the whole... Yeah, I covered the Spear Hero, too, so, I think I actually have covered everything from this episode of Shield Hero. It's a good episode. I mean, it has some good setup for whatever's going to happen. I'm curious to see exactly how Melty is going to be integrated into the story. Is she going to be able to help out now Fumi and, redeem him in some way? Who really knows, but there's definitely going to be some probably important details with these characters, the new events that was introduced in this episode for these upcoming episodes. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below, because for some reason, even if you click the subscribe button, you don't always get notified. So if you do want to get notified for whenever a video is uploaded, hit that bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.